Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our free webinar for this month of October. This month, we celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. And gusto ko lang sabihin sa mga taong nakaka-experience ng sadness or anxiety na hindi ka nag-iisa. Always keep in mind that you are not fighting this battle alone. This too shall pass, and I want you to know that you are worthy, you are loved, and you are valid. To our participants, thank you for being with us today. By the way, my name is Keisha Baldovino. I am one of the officers of the OMC Psychology Society, and with me,
welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Ayesa Agustin and I am the Vice President of the DOMC Psychology Society.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Christian C. Teves. I am also an officer of the OMC Psychology Society and will be the moderators for today's event.
So before we start, let me ask, how is everyone doing today? Pwede kayong sumagot sa chat box ng kahit anong emoji na nagde-describe ng nararamdaman nyo ngayon. You can type and share anything you feel as of the moment into our chat box so we can see how is everyone doing today. Ayan, mukhang masaya naman yung mga viewers natin today.
Rika Yanto, bakit ka sad?
Si Crystal Jade, happy din. Si Marian Joseph, di ko alam kung anong meaning ng emoji na to.
So, ayun na nga guys, when we talk about sports psychology, dito papasok yung mga strategies na ginagamit ng mga athletes para ma-overcome yung pressure na nararamdaman nila. And syempre, of course, para manalo sila sa game.
Mga dyan, Keisha, lalo ngayon na kinoconsider na rin na as sports yung esports na kung saan kailangan tatagan yung mental fortitude kung tawagin para hindi ka agad-agad matilt sa game. So personally, pag ako kasi sa game, I like to be cocky. Tas alam kong gagawin ko yung 100% ko kasi I need to prove myself. Natitilt lang ako kasi yung pag minsan yung mga teammates ko, di nila binibigay yung best nila. Kaya ako nawawala din ako sa laro, ganun.
Ayan, kaya perfect na perfect talaga tong topic natin ngayon para maunawaan natin kung paano nga ba nag-work yung sports psychology and kung paano nga ba dapat i-handle yung mga pressure and strategies in game.
Okay, so now, let us seek guidance and knowledge to our Creator to give us wonderful and successful program with a prayer in the name of our Lord Jesus. I would like to invite Miss Jebel Regis to invoke an opening prayer for us.
Let us all bow our heads and feel the presence of our Lord. We glorify and thank you for you have showered us with so much blessings, and your presence continuously reminds us of your faithfulness and guidance. With this may we humbly ask you to shower our speaker for today of your greatest inspiration so that they may share the most of their knowledge, heart, and soul to the respective topics. May we also absorb the invaluable knowledge, experiences, and put it into practice. What we may learn today, we may come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered together. Your blessing would mean the success of this webinar, and may we be a living witnesses of your genuine love through the enactment of the knowledge acquired through this activity. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
So thank you, Joel, for that heartfelt prayer. So before we introduce our resource speaker for today's event, let us give you the rules of today's webinar. May I call on Ms. Charmaine Rio, one of the officers of the UMC Psychology Society.
Thank you, Mr. Teves. So before we start this webinar, there are some rules and reminders. First, we ask to give your full attention for 1 to 2 hours for this webinar. Second, please disable microphones to avoid distractions to other participants. Third, for Q&A portion, kindly use the chat box located at the right side of your screen. A resource speaker will be glad to entertain your questions after his discussion. Fourth, at the end of this webinar, we will give the links for our evaluation form so that you can receive your free e-certificate for all participation for today's topic. And lastly, before we end our program, may we request all the participants to open your camera for our photo opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you, Ms. Sharimi, for giving us the rules and regulations of today's webinar. Moving forward, may I call on Ms. Rica Facianto to give us the opening remarks.
Ayan. So thank you, Ayesa. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar for this day entitled Sports Psychology, Kailangan nga ba? To be discussed by Mr. Paolo Romero. So by the way, I am Rica Yanto and I am the president of the OMC Psychology Society. And I just want to thank all of you for showing support in all of our activities throughout the whole Psych Week. Today, as we end our week, I hope that everyone will enjoy this webinar and get major takeaways that you can use in your daily lives. Again, thank you everyone for attending and enjoy this session.
Thank you, Ms. Rica. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Ms. Angela Niebres to introduce our research speaker for today.
So for our guest speaker for today, he graduated as cum laude in UP Diliman with a degree in sports science, a former UP Fighting Maroon basketball player, head strength and conditioning coach of UE men's and boys basketball team in UAAP. He is also the second assistant strength and conditioning coach of UP Fighting Maroon basketball team in UAAP and assistant instructor for PE in University of Asia and the Pacific. Let us all welcome Mr. Paolo Romero.
Welcome, sir.
Hi. Sorry, is my audio clear? Is it good? Okay naman?
Yes po.
sir.
Okay, good. Hi, good morning. Good afternoon, as I may say. And, well, thank you. I appreciate the introduction. Medyo nakaka-pressure, pero thank you Okay, first of all, it's a Sunday. Here on my clock, it's 3:15 p.m. Um, it's a Sunday. It's 3:15 p.m. I guess most of you by this time should be taking naps. Okay, so tapos ang alam ko ata ngayong Sunday, kasi nakikita ko yung sister ko sa baba. She's preparing her online setup para sa concert ng BTS. So that's gonna be in an hour. So nandito kayo instead na nagpe-prepare kayo para sa mga army dyan, okay? So thank you. Ngayon pa lang, simula pa lang, I appreciate you guys being here, and I hope that I hope that meron kayong makuha from me. Okay? So again, welcome to our talk for today, which is entitled Sports and Exercise Psychology, Kailangan nga ba? Okay. So before anything else, okay, I guess I'll be sharing my screen now. Okay, for my PowerPoint. So para mag-init tayo lahat, okay? It's 2:15. Bagong kain yung iba, inaantok. So bigyan natin ng pampagana. Let's do an icebreaker drill. Okay, let's do an icebreaker. Okay? So marami kayo. So may premyo. Okay? I'll be handing out, mamaya ako sasabihin. Okay, sige. Share ko lang yung screen ko muna. Share ko lang yung screen. Okay. Sorry. How do I share my screen? Because apparently nakalagay dito, host has disabled screen sharing. Okay.
Wait lang po, sir.
Okay.
Ayan po, sir. Pwede na po.
Thank you. Let's see how this works. There we go. Okay. So, sports and exercise psychology. Kailangan nga ba? So maybe in the next hour, an hour and a half, maybe, or maybe a little less, I would like this talk, to be insightful. Okay, I want you guys, to engage with me. If you have any questions, kung meron kayong na-curious kayo and all, feel free to ask. Okay, I don't like this talk to be like a lecture. Okay, you guys are, come on, nasa psych soc kayo. So you guys are already familiar with the theories, with the concepts, and whatnot. So weekend to weekend, ayokong magle-lecture. Okay? Ayoko na para ay nasa school. So let's keep it cool. Okay, let's keep this session light. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so again, my name is Paolo Romero, and basically my life really revolved around basketball. Okay, and academics actually, since in order for me to play, I need to do well in school as well. So in grade school, I started out playing as early as grade 5. I played with Laret School of Quezon City. That's a school near UP Diliman. Then I was recruited back in high school. Okay, I was recruited back in high school by Ateneo. That's why meron dito naka-puti ako na uniform. Then I moved on to college. I played for the UP Fighting Maroons. Okay, so basically it's all about basketball. All about basketball and academics. Okay. Then after playing and after studying, I pursued a master's degree, but however, I wasn't able to finish it yet. Okay. But I also engage in coaching, strength and conditioning coach ako. Okay. So again, my life is really all about sports. Okay. It's all about sports. So lahat ng i-share ko sa inyo today is maybe through my personal experiences, or maybe through, the experiences ng mga naka-encounter ko, yung mga naka-interact ko throughout my whole career. Okay? So if you guys are sports fans, if you guys are, fans of PBA or whatever, UAP, kung na-curious kayo magtanong kung kamusta kaya si ganito, paano ba yung mindset niya? For example, tanong lang kayo. I'll be glad to entertain all of those. because these are first-hand experiences. But then again, before we start, let's go for an icebreaker. Okay. So here is our icebreaker drill. Okay. So yes, this is sports. So dapat kahit paano, kilala niyo yung mga sports personalities. You know the athletes. Okay? So ganito, I'll be flashing pictures of athletes or of sports personalities. Then, paunahan, makahula kung sino siya. Okay? Now, I think I need the help of the moderators here to, to check. Kasi ganito, in order for you guys to answer, kailangan yung i-type yung keyword na yun yung para magiging signal nyo. Okay? So, for example, I need you to type, kung sinong unang makatype ng McDo, siya yung mapipiling sumagot for that. Okay? So, I hope everyone is ready. Ay, ito pala. Sige, pampagana. Medyo maliit lang ang ano ko ngayon. Medyo maliit lang ang laman ng GCash ko ngayon. So, for those who will answer this correctly, you will receive 100 pesos GCash from me after this session. So, enough na panload yun? Baka kulang. Ha? Sana enough na panload. Okay? Sana enough na panload. 100 GCash from me. After this session, I'll be sending them out. All right? Are we clear? Are we clear? Moderators,
Yes, sir.
are you ready? Moderators.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Oh,
So the next slide will be the picture of the athlete. So for the first keyword, ang kailangan i-type nila is ano ba? Okay, this is kind of impromptu. Okay. So first word, NBA. Okay, NBA. Okay, as in yung NBA, National Basketball Association, NBA. Okay, are you guys ready? And who is this? Okay, meron ba nag-participate? Meron ba sumagot? Meron nag-type? Moderator, sino na nag-type, please? I'm not sure kung ano ba yung nakikita ko dito.
Ayan, sir, meron po, sir, sumagot. NBA,
Okay.
si
Okay.
Rika Yanto,
Okay.
Ika.
Okay, sige. Thank you. Okay, ganito Sorry, there's a twist. There's a twist here. Before ko tanggapin yung sagot mo kung sino to, I need you to mention 3 descriptions about him or her. Alam niyo yung sa Showtime? Alam niyo yung Miss Q&A? Yung parang, I believe he is ganito, I believe he is ganyan, I believe he is ganito. Therefore, she is black. Okay? So, si Miss Rika, I would like you to describe this woman in flash before us. 3 descriptions, then please mention kung sino siya.
pwede po bang open mic na lang?
Yes. Yes.
Okay po.
Yes, yes. Open mic. Open mic. And yun nga, I need you guys to engage with me. Okay, engage with me. Go.
Kailangan po ba, sir, 3?
Yes, 3. Kung hindi counted.
Okay po. Sige po. Kailangan din po ba may I believe, sir?
Ma-appreciate ko naman. Kung gusto mong magpagana ng afternoon, pwede naman. Pero kung okay lang. Go.
Silver medalist po siya.
Okay, that's 1.
Athlete po siya ng Philippines sa Olympics.
Okay.
And
Nako.
oh my gosh, wait lang po, naglo-loading yung wait lang.
Nakabukas ang Google Chrome. Nakabukas ang Google
No,
Chrome.
hindi po. I believe babae siya. Oh.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. Who is she?
Si Nesty Petesio po.
Good. This is hindi siya na. Yes, this is Nesty Petesio. Okay, hindi mo nabanggit. Anong sport siya? Anong sport?
Sa boxing po.
Okay, good. Nesty Petesio, okay. One of the athletes who made history for the Philippines this past Olympics, probably the most enjoyable Olympics that I have watched since nung nagkamalay ako manood ng Olympics. Okay. Because finally, we have Philippine athletes finally standing on the podium, right? Okay, we finally see athletes, nandun. Okay? And may hawak silang medal. So, Nesty Petesio, good job. Good job. So, Miss Rika, you will receive 100 peso Gcash from me later. Moderators, please note. I think it's rin sa moderator ata eh. Okay. So, next word. NCAA. NCAA. Here is our next athlete. Okay, moderators, meron ba sumagot? Meron sumagot? Sinong eligible ngayon sumagot dito for this athlete? Oh, shiz. Sorry. Moderator, sorry, hindi ko kasi nakikita lang. I know, you can see my screen, pero medyo ako mag-handle nito. Meron ba sumagot? Moderators?
Wala pa pong sumasagot, sir.
Wala pa? Okay, guys. Okay, medyo inaanto kayo. Ayaw nyo ata ng 100 pesos Gcash. Okay. So, I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds to answer. If not, I'll keep the Gcash by myself. Okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay.
Meron na po, sir.
Ayun. Okay, nakikita ko na to. Meron pala. There we go.
Fishan Kenny Ubana po.
Yes, Kenny. Kenny, turn your mic on, please. Turn your mic on. 100 peso Gcash on the line. Unload.
Hello po, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Charot. Welcome to the show. Okay. So, three descriptions of this athlete flashed before us. Then, sino siya? Go.
I believe ayan po sa boxing po siya.
Okay.
And then sa Tokyo, Rio, parang hindi po siya nanalo noong 2016.
Okay. Okay.
And then parang tapos kino-compare siya kay Manny Pacquiao.
Okay.
Si ano po siya, Yumir Marshall.
Yes, that is correct. This is Yumir Marshall. Now, sige, nabanggit mo. Okay, hindi siya nanalo sa Rio. Okay, hindi siya nanalo sa Rio. Anong medal niya dito? If you're familiar. Anong medal ang nakuha niya last Tokyo Olympics?
Hindi ko po masyadong yung sa medal.
Naku naman. Okay, this is history. Again, this is part of history. Okay? Yumi Marshall, he won the bronze medal. Okay? Again, one of the athletes who made history. For the Philippines. Okay? Yumi Marshall. Naku. Hindi pala ata kayo fans ng sports. Okay? Hindi ata kayo avid supporters ng sports. Okay. Okay. Next. For the next athlete, the keyword is UAAP. UAAP. Okay? UAAP. Next. Who is this? Okay, meron. Okay, I think Kenny already won. So,
May
I guess-
sumagot po, sir. Miss
siguro-
Yancy Teves po.
Okay, yes. Miss Yancy Teves.
Lalaki po ako, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yancy. Good. 3 descriptions about this guy right here.
I believe he won a championship in Miami. I believe he won a championship in Cleveland. I believe he won a championship in Lakers.
Good. Then, I think this is a giveaway. Sino siya? O magkamali ka pa.
James po.
Sino? James Yap?
LeBron James.
LeBron James. Okay, good. This is LeBron James, okay? This is LeBron James. Now, in the world of basketball, sa mundo na pinalakihan ko, LeBron James is considered probably one of the most influential sports figures in history. In history. Influential in a way that his impact, maraming magagaling na players. But LeBron James is one of those players in history, who has made an impact in sports, who has influenced a lot of people to the point na gustong-gusto siyang gayahin, gustong-gustong suotin yung sapatos niya. Ang mahal na sapatos niyan. Hindi ako bumibili ng sapatos niyan. Okay? That's how influential he is. Okay? Marami siyang haters. That's part of history. Dahil marami kang haters, ibig sabihin, LeBron James, man. That's how influential he is in the world of basketball. Okay? And this guy right here, kahit na anong hate ng mga tao sa kanya, you can't break him. You can't break him. Okay? Ganun siya katibay. Okay? LeBron James. Okay, so we have already 3 winners of GCash. 100 peso GCash from me later. Okay? Next word. Sabaw. Next word, sabaw. Sorry, sobrang random lang naman sinasabi kong words. They're just really coming out from my mouth. Okay? Sabaw. Next athlete, please. Come on. Who is this guy? Keyword is sabaw. Sinong unang mag-type ng sabaw, siya ang makakasagot kung sino to. Okay? Moderators, do we have a volunteer?
Wala pa po.
Wala pa.
Wala pa po, sir.
Wala pa. Or baka hindi niyo siya kilala. Oh, damn. Okay? Wala pa. Come on, guys. Come on. Again, you just have 10 seconds left. 10 seconds or else the GCash will be for me. Okay, meron. Sabaw. Okay, it's Kenny again. Okay. So, meron ba? Okay, Kenny answered a while ago pero dahil wala namang sumasagot na iba. Sige, Kenny.
Hello po. Kahit po
Yes.
wala ng prize, sasagutin ko na po.
Sige. Alam mo naman. I'm a
Ayan
man
po,
of my word. Okay, go.
he's also from boxing po.
Okay,
Tapos naglaro po siya sa Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
okay.
And then she won in 48 to 52 kilogram weightlifting. I mean,
Naku po.
nalito
Naku po.
ako. Carlo Paalam
Naku po.
po siya.
Anong
Si
sport?
Carlo Paalam po. Sa weightlifting po pala, nalito po ako sa kanila niya.
Naku. Weightlifting.
Opo.
Weightlifting. I'm giving you the opportunity to change your answer.
I mean,
Di ba?
flyweight. Yung for sa boxing po, flyweight.
Good. It's in boxing.
Sorry po, nalito lang.
Okay. This guy right here. Ito, tuwan-tuwa ako dito. Actually, naiyak ako nung pinapanood ko siya. I'm not gonna lie. Naiyak ako nung pinapanood ko siya. While on the podium, binigyan siya ng medal, inabutan siya. Tinititigan lang niya yung silver medal. Tinititigan lang niya yung silver medal niya. For me, that moment right there is precious. He mentioned in his interview, that moment was symbolical. It symbolizes yung pinanggalingan niya when he was a kid, nangangalakal ng basura, yung mga bakal na kinakalakal, to him now, changing his life forever, changing the course of history, of Philippine history rather, by winning a silver medal. For me, that moment was special, was precious. Solid yun. Solid yun. Okay? And yes, this is Carlo Paalam. This is Carlo Paalam. Bata pa nito. I think he's just what, 16? 17? Diba? Okay. Ilan pa? I think I have two more. Okay, I have two more. I still have two more prizes. Okay. Next word. Lumpiang Shanghai. Okay, next word is Lumpiang Shanghai. Next word is Lumpiang Shanghai for this guy. Lumpiang Shanghai for this guy. Okay, thank you. Rika, let's go. Who is this guy?
Sige po sir, baka po meron pa pong ibang
Sige.
mag-answer.
Bigyan natin ng 10
others.
seconds. Bigyan natin 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Meron? May humabol ba? Okay. Paul Richard Angelo, Sumpio. Lumpiang Shanghai. Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon din po.
Yes, welcome. Welcome
Yes.
to the show.
He's
So,
drafted by the Hornets
wow, okay. I
and
like that.
then
I like that.
won 5 championships with the Lakers, but
Yes.
recently died.
Okay. That's
Yes.
the sad part.
He's Kobe Bryant.
Yes. You know, thank you. Thank you. Good job. Good job. You know, one of my favorite athletes of all time. Bata pa lang ako, grade school pa lang ako. You know, Kobe has made an impact. Also one of the most influential people in the sport. When he died, in the whole basketball community mourned for him. Ganun siya ka-influential. Ito, walang biro. Walang biro. May training ako nun. May training yung team ko nun. Okay? I was supposed to train people. I was supposed to train my players that day. Okay? But when he died, wala akong gana. Hindi ako nakapasok. Ganong kababa yung energy ko when he died. Sobrang nasaktan ako. To the point na even my partner, she was like, ba't ka naiiyak? Ba't ka lungkot mo? Sabi ko, ano ba? Namatay si Kobe. Okay. No, seriously. If you guys are crying over Korean novelas, you know, if you guys are crying dahil, you know, hindi sila nagkatuluyan doon sa Korean novela or may namatay yung dapat naka-love team. Guys, this one right here, in the history of sports, is one of the most influential people. So ito, iniyakan ko to. Alright? Kobe Bryant, the Mamba, the Black Mamba. Okay? Guys, last, okay? Last ano na tayo? Last athlete. The word for the last athlete is gold medal. Gold medal. I repeat, the word is gold medal. Okay? Yung mga sumagot dito, mga nakakuha na yan. So, let's give chance to others again. 10, 9,
Let's go, guys.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5. Yes, Crystal Jade. Crystal Jade, hi. Hello? Anybody home? Is Crystal Jade here? Ako, no. Wala ata si Crystal Jade. Okay. Crystal Jade, hello. Turn on your mic, please. Come on. Turn on your mic. Last item. You have the chance to be the winner of the last 100 pesos GCash from me. Ako, Crystal Jade, mag-expire ang iyong mapapaso ang iyong reservation sa pagsagot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, lolo ko po internet. Okay. Sige, Crystal Jade. Crystal Jade, will you be willing to answer? Will you be willing to answer? Kahit dito na lang siguro sa chat. Or if not, ipapasa ko to kay Miss Chessa. Okay. Sige, please. Type in your answer. Type in your answer. 3 descriptions about this lady right here. 3 descriptions. Then, who is she? You know, guys, this lady right here, she is the woman of the hour. Up until now. Up until now. Okay? Yung ginawa niya para sa bansa, hindi na yun mabubura ever. Okay? Hindi na siya mabubura. And, hindi siya makakalimutan. Okay? That's 1. 2 more. 2 more. Okay, probably winner. Okay. Ako, you. So you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Unfortunately, si Crystal talaga naglolo kay internet. So hindi niya na-type in lahat. Si Miss Jessa. Miss Jessa. Is Miss Jessa here? Siya yung second.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hi. Welcome. 3 descriptions about this lady right here.
Siya
Then,
po ay yung kauna-unahang babaeng nakauwi ng gold medal sa Olympics.
yes.
He is a weightlifter.
Okay. So pa.
He is,
So pa.
she is a brave woman, strong woman.
Yes.
And he is
Literally.
Fideling Diaz.
Good. She is strong. Literally. And figuratively. Yes. So Miss Jessa is our last winner of 100 peso GCash. So for those who participated, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. I appreciate it. You know, nakakaantok pero salamat. Salamat. Okay. So this lady right here is Heideline Diaz. The woman who made history. Napanood ko yung progression niya from the past Olympics. You can really see how she improved throughout those different Olympics. Ang sarap lang sa pakiramdam, you know, that her work finally paid off. Okay, her work finally paid off. So now, guys, sports and exercise psychology, I guess, you know, dapat naman talaga aware tayo. Kahit papaano, aware tayo kung sino ba yung mga personalities in sports. Because these guys right here, I would say they have a different mindset. You know, they're on a different level. So in the next minutes, okay, as we go along through this discussion, titingnan natin, you know, ano kaya yung meron nitong mga to? Ano kaya yung meron nitong mga to? And also, masasagot ba natin yung tanong natin? Kailangan nga ba ang sports psychology? Okay? So, okay. So, let's start off first. Bago tayo dumating sa sports psychology, we'd just like to reiterate that I was a graduate of sports science. Okay? I was a graduate of sports science. So, that's not really my first choice. Okay, it's not really my first choice. I was also inclined to go into business management, pinapapuntang engineering, ganun. I even applied for psychology, pero hindi ko rin kinaya talaga. So I stayed in sports science, and probably the best decision I've made. I really enjoyed the course. Okay. Now, ang maganda dito sa sports science, believe it or not, lahat ng pinag-aaralan ko, na-apply ko in my everyday life. Okay? Lalo na pag nagtitraining ako. Maniwala kayo sa akin. It really does. I really did that. Okay? So ganito. Sports science. So galing ako sa sports science. So we come to think of it, sports science, there is a science behind sports. There is a science behind sports performance. Guys, does it make sense? Right? Does it make sense? Okay? So, di ba? That being the case, sports science, lalo na sa amin, in UP, trivia also, sports science originated really from UP Diliman, College of Human Kinetics. Kami talaga ang institution na nagsimula nun. So that being said, if we have the science, kung pinag-aaralan namin ng science, then we must have the formula. We must have, the resources in order to produce successful athletes. Does it make sense, guys? Does it make sense? It must. It must make sense, okay? Because it is science. So I'll walk you through. Ano ba yung mga pinag-aaralan namin before in sports science? Guys, meron kaming basic and advanced anatomy. Okay? Basic and advanced anatomy. Pinag-aaralan namin muscles, buto, nerves, organs, the systems. Start pa lang namin sa course, we are introduced to this subject, anatomy, because this will be our foundation. This is going to be our foundation for the succeeding requirements or courses na kailangan namin. So, simula pa lang yan, guys. May anatomy na kami. Then, to be followed with sports and exercise physiology. Physiology is the way our functions work. Sports and exercise physiology is how our body functions and responds in relation to exercise. Isipin niyo yun mabuti, guys. Isipin niyo mabuti yun. Hindi siya pangkaraniwang pinag-aaralan, pero kami pinag-aaralan namin. Paano nagre-respond ang body natin, kapag nag-exercise tayo. So, kapag nag-exercise tayo, gumagana na ang ating anaerobic lipolysis, tapos pupunta tayo sa Krebs cycle, tapos electron transport chain, and all those stuff. Ganun. Isipin nyo yun, guys. May science behind our bodily functions. Okay? We also have biochemistry. Proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, etc. Those guys, pinag-aaralan namin yun, how yung mga proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids, how they affect our sports performance. Nandun din yun. We even have sports nutrition. Pinag-aaralan din namin dito, kapag kumain ba kami ng ganito, like an hour before our exercise or our practice, will it benefit us? Pag kumain ba kami ng ganito, makaka-recover ba kami? So, kahit pagkain namin, merong science behind it in order to produce, a successful performance. Sorry. Program design. Guys, we even have a course. Kung ano yung magandang program, kung paano namin ipo-program yung mga athletes namin to train. Kung ano yung timeline ng pag-train nila. 3 weeks dapat ito sila, then 1 week dapat pahinga. Guys, that's a subject for us. So, that being said, anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, nutrition, program design, biochemistry. Those are all components. Those are all scientific components that we apply with our sports performance. So come to think of it, kung meron tayong science, meron kaming science behind that, then dapat mag-equate siya to success. That will equate to winning, supposedly, right? Kasi nandun eh, kompleto na. We have all the sciences. Okay? But that is not the case. That is not always the case. You're familiar with UP, right? I hope you're familiar with UP. You're familiar with how UP is now. Kung gaano siya sumikat. Okay? Kung paano siya sumikat, kung gaano karaming tao ang nanonood sa UAP, and kung sino-sino yung mga nakikilala yung mga players doon na tinitilian. You know? Pero before that, I was part of the dark ages. I got to experience the dark ages. My first playing year, I got to experience winning 2 games only. My second year, I experienced winning only 1 game. Isipin mo, isang buong season yon in my UAP career, 1 game. Isang season ko, 2 games lang. The year that I got injured, well, hindi ako nakasama sa lineup, pero UP that time, 1-0. 1-0. Nag-0-14 pa. Okay? So, given this, nasa UP na. Nasa amin na. We have the sciences. We have this in order to produce yung tamang components, tamang formula to train people. Pero why is it that it doesn't equate to success? So, may kulang. May kulang. So, baka meron tayong nakalimutan or meron tayong hindi masyadong binibigyan ng pansin. Okay? So, dito pumapasok ang psychology. Sports psychology. So, again, with you guys, you know what psychology is. You know what psychology is. This is the most basic definition of them all. Psychology is the study of human behavior. And this is also where we understand the causal processes which contributes to behavior change. Okay? Now, dito pumapasok si sports psychology. Sports psychology is a discipline wherein hindi pa siya masyado nabibigyan ng pansin here in the country. Well, it does have a trend now. Okay? It does have a trend now. Mas napapansin na siya. Okay? Mas binibigyan ng pansin. Okay? Mas aware na karamihan. So, pag sinabing sports psychology, it's just, padaliin natin, it's just about applying of psych principles into sports situations. Okay? It is the systematic study of behaviors, feelings, and thoughts of people engaged in sports, exercise, or physical activity. That's simple. That's simple. Sports psychology. All right? So, again, meron palang ganito, sports psychology. So, this could be, the missing factor in order to produce winning. In order to produce success. Babalik tayo doon sa question. Kailangan nga ba? Kailangan nga ba? Sabi ni Jackie Chan, kailangan nga ba? Bakit? Ano ba meron sa sports psychology? Here's what I'm gonna tell you, okay? It's sad to say, but the Philippines, we are still somehow behind, when it comes to addressing mental health issues. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree? Kahit mag-thumbs up lang kayo sa chat box if you agree. Okay? Diba? Somehow we are still, behind. Yes, we are giving attention to it. Parang we acknowledge it right now. That's a good thing. We acknowledge it right now, right? You acknowledge that mental health issues exist. They do exist. Now, with athletes, would you believe na ang stigma sa amin, as athletes, even sa akin before, kapag athlete ka, sorry, you are automatically a strong individual. Yan lang nilagay ko, strong individual. Okay? We have that stigma that athletes are strong physically and automatically they are mentally and emotionally strong. Sige, wag na natin gamitin yung word na strong. Mentally and emotionally stable at all times. Okay? That is the stigma sa ating mga athletes. But truth and behold, guys, athletes are also human beings too. Wow, di ba? Wow. Surprising? Hindi naman ata. Diba? That's not surprising at all. Athletes are human beings too. They function like humans. We eat like a regular human being. We sleep like a regular human being. We enjoy things also. If you guys love to play mobile games, a lot of athletes also love to play mobile games. Athletes are also human beings too. However, since, just like what I've mentioned earlier, yes, we do acknowledge that mental health issues are existing. In athletes, minsan hindi siya na-address ng maayos. Because there is a connotation for athletes na kapag naglalabas ka ng vulnerability, kapag nagtatry ka mag-open up that you have a mental health issue, if you have a problem, lumalabas na when you're showing that vulnerability, when you try to show that vulnerability, kahit konti lang, that is immediately interpreted as a sign of weakness. Sad to say, but it happens. That's the reality here in the country. Actually, not just in the country, even in the USA. Okay? Even in the USA. Oh, don't get me started with ano. So ito, I'm just talking about, males. Kasi kapag males, talagang parang bawal bawal, parang hindi pwedeng magpakita ng weakness. Tama? Pagdating naman sa women, oh man, minsan mas malala pa sa babae. Tanggapin, hindi pa rin nawawala to, pero, it still happens, Some people are still looking at women as mahina. Kahit na nakita nyo na gold medal si Heidelin Diaz, marami pa rin sa mga tao ang tumitingin sa babae as lower beings. Sad to say. Sad to say. So paano pa pag female athlete siya? Okay? Female sporting events, means parang minsan nirarank siya as secondary, So isipin niyo yun. Secondary na nga ang tingin sa mga women. Tapos maglalabas ka pa, mag-open up ka pa that you have a mental health issue. Automatic yun, guys. Automatic yun. Media will take advantage of that. Media will take advantage of that. Sasabihin ka agad nila na, nako, mahina talaga. Mahina. Sad to say. Sad to say. That's how it works here. That's the reality. That's the reality of society. That's also the reality of sports. So, kailangan nga ba ng sports psychology? Yes. Athletes are human beings too. They are human beings too. Okay? Bakit kailangan ng sports psychology? Because sports psychology can help address the issues, the stress na nararamdaman nila, and hindi sila mahihiyang mag-open up. They will open up because someone is willing to listen to them, ma-address yung problema na yun, and maayos. Okay? That's how it is. That's how it is in sports. Okay? in sports, sobrang daming issues na kinakaharap ng mga athletes. Okay? I think in the next slides, ito pala, sorry. Before I move on, na-mention ko yung importance. Kailangan nga ba ng sports psychologist? Yes. This picture on the left is Heidelin Diaz's Team HD. This is publicized throughout the media, okay? As you can see here by ANC. This is a picture of Team HD. Come to think of it, sa isang sports team or, kahit anong sports, ang kailangan mo lang, aminin nyo, ang iniisip nyo lang na kailangan ng isang athlete ay isang coach. Kailangan niya ng coach. Tama, hindi. You can type in your answers. Okay? Ang iniisip nyo, coach lang. Tama? Pero with Heidelin Diaz, I would like to walk you through, if you're not familiar with them, I'll walk you through kung sino ba itong mga to. This guy in red is her head coach. Yan ang head weightlifting coach niya. On the right, the guy in blue, that is her now, the fiance. Okay, that is her strength and conditioning coach. Iba ang head coach sa strength and conditioning coach. At the far left, this is Coach Jeanette Aro. Okay, this is Coach Jeanette Aro, sports nutritionist. She keeps track of everything that Heidelin Diaz eats. Training and in competition. Kontrolado yan. But I would like you to focus your attention on the lady that I haven't mentioned yet. That is Dr. Trinidad. Tama ba? I think, yes.
Yeah.
This is her sports psychologist. If you are, sorry, ano kasi talaga ako eh. I'm really into sports, kahit balita, sports. Okay. Balita to. It has been emphasized all throughout. This team right here, si Dr. Trinidad, she made an impact. Request talaga ni Heidelin Diaz na meron siyang sports psychologist. So, siya talaga. Ang laking factor ng sports psychology in sports competition. Previously, I've mentioned, earlier, I've mentioned that we have all these scientific components, to formulate the proper training regimen, and stuff. Sa tingin nyo, hindi ba ginagawa yan ng China? Sa tingin nyo, hindi ba yun ginagawa ng USA? Right? Or let's just keep it here in the UAP. Don't you think na ginagawa yan ng Ateneo, ng Lasal? Di ba namin ginagawa yan in UP? Most likely, yes, they also do that. But this one right here, sports psychology, this is the game changer. This is the X factor right here. Kailangan nga ba ng sports psychology? If you're still doubtful, as of now, well, that's okay. That's fine. Okay. Pero now, what I'm saying is, yes, sports psychology. Kailangan nga ba? Oo. Malaking oo. Okay? Now, in sports psychology, sino bang pwedeng tumulong sa atin, sa aming mga athletes, Sino yung mga pwedeng mag-address ng mga issues or mga stress na nararanasan namin? Back in the day, the picture on the left, yung naka-blue and white, those are my high school coaches. And I'm really thankful for them. The one wearing white is Coach Jamai Karin. He was the former head coach of the NU Bulldogs. Okay. He was my mentor. He was my high school coach back in Ateneo. The guy in blue, he was the assistant coach when I was in Ateneo. Okay. And this guy, this is Coach Joe Silva. When I went to UE, naging magkatrabaho kami. Okay? Naging magkatrabaho kami. What I like about these two, because they know how to handle players. They know how to handle players. You know, they address you in a way na ipapalabas nila yung galing mo. Okay? They listen if you really have something to say. They listen if may pinoproblema ka. Kumbaga, they really treat you, they act as father figures. Okay, that's what I like about them. Same goes to these two on the right. If you're a sports fan, if you watch the UAP, yes, you know, that's Coach Bo Perason. Then yung nakatayo pang isa, that's Coach Ricky Dandan. Those are my coaches back when I was in UP. Same thing, you know. Very thankful for these coaches. You know, very thankful. Coach Bo, he is probably one of the nicest guys I've met ever. And I'm glad to be mentored by him when I was still playing. Sobrang bait niya. Sobrang bait niya na kapag may problema ka, you know, kakausapin ka rin niya. Talaga, one-on-one, you know, gonna talk to you, then he'll address, you know, the problem, and he'll even offer help. You know, the common denominator with them is they know how to handle, you know, mental health issues. They know how to handle the stress of athletes. Okay? Because here's the thing, coaches, if your coaches are like this, it's good. It's good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay? Pero, paano kung hindi? Paano kung hindi? Kasi there still exists, I would say old school. Okay? You know, there are coaches who, kapag ganito na nag-express ka ng mental health issues and stuff, what they do is they, sorry for the word, but they fuck you up in the head even more. Sorry for the word, but that happens, okay? That happens. What they do is they mess with your head even more. Okay? Kumbaga, nagsalita ka, nag-open up ka, sabihin mo, coach, kasi may nararamdaman ako parang ganito eh. Parang it doesn't feel right, parang nalulungkot ako. Her coaches, believe me or not, believe me, this happens still. Ang gagawin nila, naku, wala yan. Nasa utak mo lang yan. Mag-training ka lang, tagalan mo pa, mas pag go hard ka pa. Tagalan mo pa yung training mo. Diba? Tagalan mo pa yung training mo. Mas pagurin mo pa yung sarili mo. Okay? Hirapan mo pa yung pagte-training mo. Because, you know, reality is there are still some coaches who believe that mental issues are just, you know, shallow concerns, you know, na ang solution is just really by, you know, training you by papahirapan ka lang. Because kapag pinapahirapan ka, they say that it will toughen you up. But it does not. Okay, it does not. You know, somehow, what I've listed here, you know, physically, physiologically, kayang gawan to ng paraan eh. It can be incorporated in training, yes. Pero when we say about mental health issues, tapos kapag nagsabi ka na may problema ka, malungkot ka, pero ang pagagawa sa'yo, ito lang ang isasagot sa'yo, then there must be something wrong. There must be something wrong. Or there is really something wrong with the way it is being addressed. Okay? Pero yes, coaches, good coaches, they exist. Okay, they exist. And I'm thankful, actually. Personally, I'm thankful. Yung mga na-experience kong coaches, they're like that. So, no. Pero, again, kung hindi naman lahat ng coaches ganun, then there must be a professional. There must be a professional who can attend to an athlete's needs. So sports psychologists, they exist. Okay. So baka mamaya na-invite nyo na yung dalawa sa mga to. Okay. Baka lang naman. Okay. So the one on the left, this is Sir John Cagas, Professor John Cagas. I love this guy. I love this guy right here. Siya yung, when I was, siyempre, ang plastiko naman kung sasabihin ko hindi ako nakaranas ng something with my emotions, when I was experiencing those, Sir John is that guy na nakakausap ko. I would send him a message, then mag-uusap kami, and it's really a big help. It's really a big help. I really love Sir John Cagas. Okay. One on the right. This one is Marcus Manalo. Okay, this is Marcus Manalo. Marcus Manalo played a big role in the Olympics. Okay, he played a big role in the Olympics. You know why? For the boxers right here, siya ang sports psychologist sa boxing team. And voila, 3 medals in boxing. And this process of winning medals for the boxing team, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight. When I was still a student, alam ko, ano na to eh, parang it was a project of them. It was already parang part of the process, sa Olympics. He's been with the boxing team for quite a while. And it paid off. It paid off. Guys, does kailangan nga ba ng sports psychology? Yes. Well, look at this. We just became, the leading medalists in the Olympics in Southeast Asia. Okay? Ngayon lang nangyari yun. And sports psychology with the help of a sports psychologist is the X factor. Okay? So, if coaches, yes, they can be. Pero if not, we have the sports psychologists. We have the professionals. Okay? Ito talaga yung mga kailangan naming lapitan. Now, okay. The goal of coaches and sports psychologists, ang common denominator nila is for us to be able to produce optimal performance, to be able to make us perform at the highest level. Ganong kaganda ang sports psychology. Ganong kaganda ang tulong ng sports psychologist. Okay? People, questions so far? Questions so far? If you have any questions before I move on. Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. With that being said, let's move on. Now, we will now try to focus on, the mental aspect of sports participation. What goes inside our heads, before we compete or when we train. We will try to look to focus on the mental health issues. We'll try to focus on the mental stress that we encounter when we train or when we compete, or even by just waking up every day. So isa-isahin natin yan. Let's try to we'll try to look at them isa-isa. So here we have what we call our personal factors. Okay. So when it comes to personal factors, usually this is questions such as, does sports influence personality? Is there a difference between the elite athletes and the not so successful, or or can personality traits predict success? Okay. Now, guys, when it comes to personal factors. Usually what comes into mind is the predisposed traits that that a person has. Personality relates to attitude, emotional state, intelligence, physical activity, working with fatigue, and etc. Ito yung mga usual na encounter natin na traits. This is what we usually encounter, and dito kami nagka-problema. Okay. Self-confidence. Back when I was a kid, or probably hanggang mag-high school ako. Sige, kahit hanggang mag-college ako. I have an on and off issue with my self-confidence. I'm not gonna lie. Nandun ako sa punto na kaya kong maturuan ng kung ano-anong skill and I can execute them perfectly. Flawlessly, Pero come game time, there are times that I falter. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Bigla ako nag-choke. Okay. For the sports fans, in term na choke. Okay. Yun yung time na dapat magpapakita ka ng galing mo pero hindi. It happened to me. Maraming beses, It's unbelievable. Pero, self-confidence, it was addressed mainly by my coaches. And eventually, naging stable ako. Athletes, in general, marami pa rin ganyan. Okay, hindi ako nag-iisa, maraming ganyan. Alright? Though, yung mga elite athletes, just like what I showed with who I showed you earlier, LeBron James, yun talaga ang taas ng kumpiyansa nun. Regardless. Okay? Next, perfectionism. This usually comes, pag yung how we would like to improve our craft. Sometimes it gets the best of us. Minsan in training, I have a teammate before. He would like the smallest detail to be followed. He would like to do the smallest detail. Pero minsan to the point na parang kapag hindi nasunod yung smallest detail na yun, parang it disrupts the whole system. It disrupts the whole momentum. Pero yeah, it was addressed and he's good. He played college ball. He's even in the PBA. Competitiveness can be high. Competitiveness can also be low. Competitiveness na mataas, ang pangit kapag sobrang taas. Pag sobrang taas naman, minsan simpleng training lang, wherein training is supposed to be a field of learning, pero minsan it is focused on winning, kahit hindi naman siya talaga pa yung main focus, because it's training. Pag sobrang baba naman ang competitiveness ng isang athlete, yung petics lang talaga, na hindi siya wala siyang drive. Okay? I mean, do you get me? Nasa training ka, then hindi siya, everyone is, going at full speed or game like speed. Pero meron dun yung isa yung parang jogging lang. That is always, in a team, that is common. You also have self-efficacy, depression. Man, depression is real. Okay. If you have, people na tatahimik lang and all, akala niyo okay lang. It's really okay to once in a while talk to them, kamustahin lang. That's how it is also with us in a team. You know? Minsan na, lalo na pag napansin ko yung isa kong teammate na he's not his usual self, you know, parang tahimik. It doesn't hurt, you know, na kapag lalapitan mo siya and kamustahin mo lang, it's not gonna hurt. And they appreciate it even more. Okay. Social physique anxiety. Social physique anxiety, this happens when, you know, sa amin, of course, somehow we need to be in, no, not somehow, we need to be in the best shape possible. We need to be in the best shape possible in order to compete at a high level. So for guys, meron talaga nangyayari dito na kasi natatabaan siya sa sarili niya, to the point na nagda-diet siya na hindi siya kumakain, which is not healthy at all. Magte-training kami, hindi siya kakain. No, that's bad. That is bad. That is bad at all. And yes, it happens. It happens. In high school, I don't know if you will agree with me, pero sa high school dito kasi parang nabubuo yung mga cliques. Okay? Dito nabubuo yung mga cliques. Tapos dito din nangyayari yung parang nagpapansinan kayo. Yung napapansin nyo yung mga bagay-bagay na, uy, si ganito, ang ganda na suot. Or si ganito, uy, ang taba, ang payat. Sa high school, ewan ko, mas napapansin natin lahat yun. Okay? So, with athletes, yun nga, nangyayari yun. For males, it happens. Shit, di ako makapag-perform ng maayos. Taba ako pa, hindi ako kain. Oh, that's a problem because if it will affect your sports performance and your mental functioning, that is wrong. That is definitely wrong. Okay? For women naman, you know, madalas to for women because again, dito po pasok yung lalo na for media. The media is always focused on the women. Lalo na pag ang sport volleyball. You know, lalo na pag sport ay volleyball. I don't know if you agree with me, right? You know, and there are still women who are being ridiculed because of their appearance. And that should be addressed. It should be addressed as well. Because there are athletes who are facing mental health issues because of that. All right? Now, guys, just type in a question if you are curious kung merong bang experience about an athlete or whoever, you know. Just type in a question, all right? Now, guys, moving on, we now have our motivational factors. Now, for motivational factors, guys, this is the most common, you know, common issue na encounter namin as athletes. So, pag sinabi motivational factors, you know, extrinsic, intrinsic. So, let's start off with extrinsic. So, it could be scholarship or grades, money, awards, fame. You know, this happens. I would like to focus on money. Okay. In the collegiate level of basketball, as early as the collegiate level of basketball, money has been the most motivating factor for an athlete, you know, to play basketball to the point that they don't even need to study. They don't study. Would you believe me? Would you believe me? Guys, money. As early as college or even high school, okay, they play basketball because of money. Because yung money na yun, syempre yun yung pantutulong nila sa mga kanya-kanya nilang pamilya. In college basketball, I don't know if you are familiar with it, pero meron tayong mga issues regarding game fixing. They engage in that because of what? Money. Because yung money na yun, yun ang gagamitin nila in order to provide for their own families or for themselves. Okay? Money. Fame. Guys, ito, I would just like to share with you, you know, with regards to fame. Ngayon, lahat ng kilos natin, kahit yung simpleng kibot lang natin, kinakain natin, or whatever, lahat yun pinopost natin sa Instagram, sa Facebook, or wherever. Oh, most especially now TikTok. Right? I think majority of you here uses TikTok. I'm gonna guess 80% of you guys, you use TikTok. Now, with Fame, before, inabutan ko yung time na kapag maganda yung laro ko, babatiin ako ng coaches ko na good game, or mga teammates ko, or yung mga classmates ko, wherever. Then siguro meron lang magkakaroon ng konting write-up on the in the newspapers. Then okay na yun. That's it. Pag masama yung laro ko, magagalitan lang ako ng coaches ko, pagsasabihan ako ng teammates ko, and probably I'll hear a few words, from the crowd, and that's it. Okay, that's it. Pero now, oh my God, Fame, konting kibot mo lang, nakita ng maganda yung ginawa mo, ipopost mo sa social media yun, oh my God, that's your ticket to fame. And yun yung nagiging motivating factor ng isang athlete. Oh, shiz, I'm gonna play basketball, getting the attention. Pag masama naman yung laro mo, patay ka. Pag masama yung laro mo, oh my God. Even the smallest detail, papansinin ka nila. Sasabihan ka pa nilang bobo. Okay? Extrinsic. Now, for the intrinsic, it still exists. This still exists. Okay? This still exists. Meron pa rin tayo dyan yung love for the game. You're playing because it is a fun game. You're always motivated to be better every day. Nandiyan pa rin naman yan. Nandyan pa rin yan. All right? Now, in relation with, with motivation, nandyan din yung arousal. Okay? For arousal, I will be sharing with you. Okay, this really happens in training. Okay, kapag low arousal o yung wala kang gana, ang ikli ng attention span ng isang athlete, sobrang ikli. Magtuturo yung isang coach, that athlete won't even look. Ang dami niyang ginagawa kung ano-ano. Ang pinakamalala doon, hindi nakikinig yung athlete. Wala siyang gana eh. Doesn't care. Okay? Marami siyang kung ano-anong ginagawa at the sides. Okay? Nakikipagkwentuhan and all. It happens. Okay? This happens. Totoo to. Masakit sa ulo to in training. Okay? And yung mga teammates ko before who are now in the PBA, they can attest to that. They really happen. They really happen in training. Ngayon naman, meron tayong masyadong mataas naman yung arousal. Kapag masyado naman mataas ang arousal, masyado ka namang gigil. Masyado ka namang gigil to the point that, alam mo yung nangyayari na, I hope you, siguro na-experience yun na to, yung masyado kayong excited, masyado kayong gigil to the point na nakakalimutan nyo yung kailangan nyong gawin. Or hindi kayo nakakagalaw. Okay? That happens in a game. It happened to me before, lack of coordination. Parang I'm always a second delayed sa pagkuha ng pasa. Nandito yung bola, darating ako dito like a second delayed. Okay? It happens, Too low, too high, it creates a problem. Okay? This creates a problem for athletes. Another thing that, athletes tend to, nagkakaroon kami ng problema and issue is focus. Focus. Mahirap ang focus, and to the point na minsan it fucks us up in the head. Sorry for the word, but it does. Okay? Because eto, I was training basketball since I was in grade 5, and I've been doing it every single day hanggang matapos ako maglaro noong 2017. I do it every day. In order to do that, that needs an extreme amount of focus. But there are athletes, who are having a hard time doing it. There are athletes who are having a hard time doing it. Kasi ang hirap talaga. Ang hirap na bumangon, gigising ka ng 4 a.m., pa-attend ka ng training at 5 for every day. Mahirap yun. And it takes a toll sa, sa mind ng isang athlete. Consistently doing it every day, that's hard. That's difficult. And pag nakakaramdam ang isang athlete, gusto ko pa ba itong ginagawa ko? Now, that creates a problem. That creates a problem. Okay? Selecting relevant and irrelevant cues. In terms of focus, mahirap to because as athletes, in a basketball game, mabilis ang action. You go from left to right to left, forward and back. Mahirap mag-maintain ng focus because you also have to switch your focus. You have to focus yourself on the relevant, yung mga kailangan natin, and you have to ignore the irrelevant ones. That's hard. Kung walang focus ang isang athlete, kung wala sa focus ang isang athlete, that creates a problem for the team, and that creates also a problem, for the athlete. It can be long-term effects also. Okay? Sa amin in training, minsan sinasabi yan, wala ka na naman sa focus. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay? So focus. Problema din sa amin tong focus. Okay? Problema din sa amin tong focus. Now, we also have our environmental factors. Okay? We also have our environmental factors. For the environmental factors, these are factors na minsan hindi na namin kontrolado as athletes. But it happens, and if it happens, it also takes a toll on us. Okay? Minsan mabigat din, malungkot, and that creates a problem. So, far away from home. Guys, for the athletes, if you know athletes, as early as high school, then galing sila sa probinsya, that is not easy. Being away from your families at that early age, nakikipagsapalaran ka dito sa Manila, mag-aaral ka, and maglalaro ka at the same time, malayo ka sa pamilya mo. I have a teammate in UP. Sikat siya. Okay. Hindi ko na lang siguro siya papangalanan, pero sikat siya. Okay. Sikat siya for his, sige, kapag sinabi ko naman to ba, kilala niya. Pero, sige, I'm just gonna say his catchphrase. Atin to. Papasok to. That guy, when he started with us, I remember him telling na homesick siya. Gusto na niya umuwi. Nalulungkot siya. And at that time, kung hindi na-address yung nararamdaman niya, okay, he could have gone home. He wouldn't be the guy, he wouldn't be the guy that he is right now in the PBA. That guy, big salute to him. Trust me, gusto na niya umuwi before, pero he stayed, he fought through it. And as teammates, nandun naman yung mga teammates before kami, to address that. Pero kung hindi, if he wasn't, talking to anyone, if hindi na-address yun, malamang hindi siya naging main man of the UP Fighting Maroons. And look at him now. He's now in the PBA. Environmental factors, crowds. Now, the crowds, malaking bagay din to. Because dito, kapag gusto mo yung, kapag when you play off the crowd, pag maganda, ganadong-ganado ka. Pero when you hear jeers or when you hear heckles from the crowd, meron mga players na pumapatol. Pinapatulan yung mga ganon. Which in return can be a result to a loss of focus in the game. And it can cost, the team. If you know, in the PBA, merong dating player na napabalitang nakipag-away sa fan. Binugbog niya yung fan. Okay? If you if you are familiar with the NBA, meron tayo tinatawag the malice in the palace. Nangyari din yun. It involves players and it involves the crowd. Diba? And what happened was a great malice. Okay? Sobra. Next, injuries. Guys, injuries. This one is in UP, sa amin meron din kaming class about injury prevention. Meron din kami first aid. So doon tinuturo sa amin kung ano yung mga dapat gawin in order to prevent injuries and whatnot. Pero, when you get injured, most of the time, hindi mo talaga control. When you get injured out of nowhere, wala, it just really happened. I'll share with you my experience when I injured my knee in a game. Okay, I injured my knee. I tore my ACL. Yun talaga. Out of nowhere, hindi ko kontrolado yun. It just really happened. It took me like 2 years to recover from that. It took me 2 years to recover from that, to the point na minsan I almost doubt my capabilities as an athlete. It really happens. Okay? Also to my fellow athletes, maraming nagkaaganyan din. If hindi siya na-address, if I didn't talk to someone, if I didn't talk to my coaches, to my trainers, to my teammates, I would have easily quit, when I got injured. But then I fought through it. I finished my playing year back in 2017. But injuries, maraming nangyayaring injuries, among athletes. And kapag major injury siya, hindi lang siya yung sinking ankle sprain, it can really take a toll on one's mindset. Lastly, an environmental factor is peer pressure. Peer pressure. Guys, peer pressure, it could be family's expectations, because umaasa yung family mo, family ng athlete. So he's more focused on, playing good so that para masatisfy yung family niya. Okay? And also social media. Peer pressure can also be in social media now. Ganun na tayo ka-high-tech. Sa social media, ibabash ka ng ibabash. Ngayon, kapag nagpa-apekto ka sa mga nababasa mo or naririnig mo rin in social media, that could also be a downfall for the athlete. Kaya with us in the sports community, we tend to, shut off social media. We tend to engage only on what matters to us. We select kung saan kami mag-engage lang. Because there is a fine line between engaging with them positively and engaging with them in a way na pinapatulan mo na sila na nagmumukhang ikaw na yung bad guy, and to the point na naka-affect na siya sa'yo emotionally, mentally. So yeah, this is what happens. Okay, all the things that I've mentioned, these are what athletes face every day. And ito, on top of that, isama mo na doon yung mga obligations for the student athletes, or sige, Erase. Athletes have to, to fulfill the responsibilities out dun sa buhay nila as an athlete. They also have to fulfill their life, their responsibilities as, as a regular person. Student athlete, guys. He or she has a responsibility to train every day. Pero, bago siya mag-training, papasok muna siya sa school. Pagkatapos niya mag-training, pag uwi na, mag-aaral pa siya. So, minsan, di maiwasan, meron tayong mga problems, Meron tayong mga problems na galing sa bahay. Tapos, minsan, di maiwasan, nakaka-apekto siya pagdating sa training. It happens. Okay? It happened to me, and na-address siya in a way na kinausap ako ng coach ko na constantly reminding me kung ano ang problema mo sa bahay, huwag mong dalhin dito. When you're on the basketball court, this is your playground. After nito, after mo ng training, doon mo na lang problemahin kung ano yan. So guys, athletes are also humans, okay? Athletes are also humans. Maraming mga pinagdadaanan din ng mga athletes. Siguro, hindi lang siya masyado napapansin. Kasi, well, hindi maiwasan, walang pake. Because hindi maiwasan din, meron pa mga tao na, nahihirapan siya, pinili niya yan eh. Pinili niya maglaro at mag-aral at the same time. So, problema niya yan. Ngayon, naangal-angal siya. We still get, athletes still get that. I got that before. So maraming problema and mental issues na kinakaharap ang athletes. Okay. And sa lahat ng sinabi ko, how are they addressed? Okay? How are they addressed? We have, here pep talks. We have here pep talks. Usually it happens kapag sa mga huddles, or kapag nasa isang team ka, wherein your coach briefs you kung ano ba yung mga nangyayari. Dito ina-address din kung ano yung mga concerns and whatnot. Okay? Pep talks. Then, pero, minsan if a pep talk is not enough, most often than not, it is not enough. Lalo na ngayon in this time wherein athletes are now more open to sharing their vulnerabilities. They also need professional help, the help of a sports psychologist, just like what I've mentioned earlier. Okay? It doesn't mean na isang session lang with a sports psychologist is okay na, ma-address yung problem. Definitely not. It can be on a consistent basis. Just like with our Olympic athletes, it became part of their program, which resulted into success. So lahat ng yun, yung mga problemang yun, yeah, it is often addressed to these two. We also have what we do, imagery training. I first encountered this when I was in high school. Every before the game, like we take around 5 minutes. And we just focus, we just visualize ourselves kung ano yung mga kailangan namin gawin in training. Ano yung mga ginawa namin in training and kung paano namin siya i-apply into an actual game. That's how it is. Okay. So pep talks, professional help, imagery, these are just these are just these are just some ways, on how to address mental stress, mental issues na kinakaharap naming mga athletes. Okay? And hanggang ngayon, again, natutuwa ako because nag-i-increase na, dumadami na yung nagiging aware. That athletes are humans too. That athletes are humans too. So, with all of that being said, nabanggit ko na sa inyo, ano ba yung mga kinakaharap ng mga athletes? Ano ba yung mga issues? Ano ba yung mga mental stress na kinakaharap ng mga athletes? At the end of the day, babalik tayo doon sa tanong. Kailangan nga ba ang sports psychology? Kailangan nga ba ang sports psychology? Importante nga ba ang sports psychology? The end goal really is for a holistic approach. The end goal here is for a holistic approach wherein all aspects of an athlete is to be addressed. All bases touched. Okay? Malakas na yung athlete natin. Check. Tumatagal na siya sa takbuhan. Check. Nakakasunod na siya sa mga kailangan natin gawin. Okay na yung skills niya. Check. In a holistic approach, kailangan natin isama yung mental aspect. Kailangan natin isama yung psychological aspect ng isang athlete. Okay? Because, because at the end of the day, the end goal is for that athlete to just not be physically healthy, but to be also mentally and emotionally healthy. Because the goal is for that athlete to be in a state of successful performance or mental functioning, which results to productive activities, and at the same time, they can fulfill the relationships with other people, to fulfill their ability to adapt, to change, and also for them to be able to cope with adversity. The end goal is to be able to touch all bases of an athlete. Okay? Because also, by the end of the day, we are not just really producing, we are not just really after, the wins. We are not just really after about the medals. We are not just all about the accolades na matatanggap ng isang athlete. Because by the end of the day, we are here, sports psychology is here to help athletes so that they may be successful athletes inside their field and that they may be successful persons outside of their field. Okay? So again, it must be everything, all of the bases touched. Everything in a holistic way, dapat matamaan, lahat ma-address. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why sports psychology is needed. So, I'm actually going to end my talk now. So, to answer, I hope you guys have I hope you guys have been somehow opened up about the reality of athletes. So, sa tanong, sports psychology, kailangan nga ba? I do hope that your answer is yes. Okay. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank you for allowing me to present in front of you, and you know, I hope that somehow yun nga na open up kayo kung ano din ba yung mga pinagdadaanan ng mga athletes, that they're just like all of us. Okay, they're just like all of us, and if you guys need mental help, they also do. Okay, so with that, um, guys, thank you for your time. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Feel free to type them.
May
Yun lang.
Q&A po kami, sir, mamaya
Yes,
for
sige.
you.
Yes.
So, thank you, sir, for that very interesting. Sobra po kaming na nag-enjoy tapos dami din namin natutunan. So, before we proceed to our question and answer portion, we will have a mini icebreaker para magising naman yung mga diwa nyo.
Yan, so may we call on Mr. Johnny Magallanes to further explain the mechanics of the game.
Okay, I'm gonna start first. Share screen. Okay. Can you see the screen already? Can you see it, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am John Joseph Magallanes, one of the officers of the UMC Psychology Society, and I'm here to explain the mechanics of our icebreaker. So our icebreaker is named Two Truths, One Lie. So the winners, we will be getting them from the Zoom here. So your answers will be on the chat box, and just the moderators will tell me if someone answered it already. So you need to find the lie in these 3 sentences. Okay, guys. First is about Sigmund Freud. So we all know that Sigmund Freud is a famous psychologist and neurologist. So first is he developed the technique of psychoanalysis. Second, he was an American neurologist. And third is he is a husband to Martha Bernays. So put your answers on the chat box below, and let's see if anyone knows what is the lie there. Okay, just waiting. Okay. Sabi ni Net, okay, nauna si Nenot Ka. Sorry if I can't pronounce it properly, but Nenot Ka. So let's see if your answer is right. Okay. So yes, Sigmund Freud is not an American neurologist, but he is an Austrian neurologist. Okay, thank you. Next. So again, kindly message our page, the OMC Psychology Society, for your info so that we can message you and give you our prize. Thank you. Next is about sports psychology. So first, it is the study of how psychological factors influence sports. Second, used to teach mental skills for enhanced performance. And third, the founder of sports psychology is Abraham Maslow. So what do you think is the lie there? So I need a comment below. So di ko nakita kasi yung nag-chat eh. So let's see. 454. So yan. Nauna si Lawal Itunolwa Elizabeth. So sorry if hindi ko ma-pronounce ang tama. So let's see if you're right, Elizabeth. Okay? So yes, Abraham Maslow is not the founder of sports psychology. Okay. Thank you. Kindly message our page for your info. Next is about basketball. Okay. So number 1, you can hold the ball while running throughout the game. Number 2, it is played by a 5-man team. And number 3, it uses a ball to shoot through the hoops. So what do you think is the wrong answer there, or the lie? I think it's very easy, right? Okay. Sean Kenny Ubana. Yan. Talagang pumapalo si Sean Kenny Ubana. Kanina pa siyang nakakasagot. Let's see kung tama ka, Sean Kenny Ubana. Yes, you're right. Hindi tayo pwedeng humawak ng bola habang naglalakad at tumatakbo throughout the game. Kailangan itong i-dribble. Kasi kung hindi, magiging ano tayo, may tayong technical foul. Ang tawag doon, ang tawag nga doon sa ganong foul? Is it foul? Well, it is true, we cannot hold the ball while running throughout the game.
Traveling.
Yes, tama si sir. Traveling nga ang tawag doon. Okay, thank you so much, sir. So next is about sports, in general sports. So first, it's an activity involving physical exertion and skill. Second, you need to be a man to play sports. And third, it can be played by anyone. So I think, alam nyo na yung sagot dito. So let's see kung sinong unang nakasagot. Tingnan ko yung timeline lang. Okay. Dahil sininoch ka ang sumagot kanina, let's give chance for others naman. So si Paul Richard Angelo. So let's see if you're right. Okay? Yes. You don't need to be a man to play sports. Men and women can play sports even kahit na mabibigat like heavy weightlifting like Kailangan Diaz. We all know that it requires muscles and strength. And kahit babae siya, she grabbed the gold medal sa Olympics. And that is truly a remarkable person. So next is about volleyball. Okay. Number 1, it can be played by men and women. Number 2, it is composed of 20 players. And number 3, it can also be played at the beach. So what do you think the lie is there? Okay. Let's see. Kung sinong nauna. Okay. Wait lang. Ang dami nag-chat, ang bilis. So, let's see. Moderator selfie, hindi ko alam kung sinong ano eh. I think it's Mari. Ang dami talaga, guys. Sinong nauna ba? So, let's just pick na lang kasi ang dami talaga and I don't know the answer kasi ang dami talagang nag-chat. So, pili tayo dito. Tingnan natin sa pinaka-nauna. I think it's Mary Ann. Doggy I.S. I don't know what is that. Pero Mary Ann, let's see if you are correct. Is it composed of 20 players? Yes, it is the lie with in the 3 sentences. So volleyball is composed of how many players if you know? Comment down below. Do you know how many players is it composed of? 12. Yes, you're right. Yes. Thank you, everyone. And this has been a great icebreaker. And I message our page for your info so that we can contact you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Johnny, and congratulations to the winners. Okay, now, so we will go ahead to answer your questions for Sir Paolo. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the chat box right below your screens.
So habang naghihintay po tayo ng questions ng participants, sir, may tanong pa ako as sa moderator po.
Yes.
Ano po yung mga nararamdaman ng mga player pag na-reverse sweep po sila? Pag lamang sila sa series na 3-1 tapos pinor 3 sila.
Okay. Ito, actually, I'm gonna speak on my personal experience. Okay, I was on the end nung ako naman yung part ng team na ng sweep, the other way around. Okay, I was on that side. So it was back in high school. I was in Ateneo. It was a semi-final match against UST. Okay, I was up against Kevin Ferrer at that time. If you know Kevin Ferrer in the PBA, I was teammates with Kiefer Ravena and Bon Pesumal back in high school. So number 4 kami. Number 1 ng UST. Take note. So twice to beat advantage. We need to beat UST twice in order to advance to the finals. Guess what happened? We sweep them. We sweep them in the semifinals. Went on to the finals and faced De La Salle Sobel in the finals and won the championship. Now, si Kevin and his other teammates, si Cedric labing isa, mga tropa-tropa naman yun. Kinausap namin sila. This was a conversation back then. What they keep on telling us is that, bayan, kapagod mag number 1, nakakapagod mag number 1, tatalunin lang pala kami sa semis para malaglag. So, that point being is, what they feel, panghihinayang because parang somehow they get this expectation na mag-cultivate na yung hard work nila by winning the championship, pero nung immediately na-disrupt yun kasi tinalo namin sila in the semis. So, I think that's the thing, panghihinayang. Number 2, it's frustration. Frustration din. Panghihinayang and frustration is somehow related. Frustration kasi hindi siya expected. Hindi siya expected. If you would remember UP, ito, yung last UAP lang, yung before this pandemic happened, UP versus UST. UP lost. Same thing. Twice to beat, advantage, twice beaten. The UP community was heartbroken, frustrated, nangihinayang. So, I guess yun yung siguro tatlong words that would best describe that feeling. I think yun na yun eh. Parang yun kagad yung pumapasok sa isip namin. Because, yeah. Technically, naging part din pala ako nun. Kasi I was part of the UP community na nung nangyari yun. Naging, na ako eh.
Thank you po,
So, yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Next question po from Paul Richard Angelo Sufio. How do you, as a coach, inspire others to reach the proper mindset to succeed if they can't see it yet for themselves?
Okay, that is a good question. Actually, malalim to. Malalim to. Because, first things first, ang trabaho ng isang coach is very broad, very broad. It's beyond teaching skills. It's beyond making them stronger. It's beyond making them run faster. It's also about making them better people, even outside of their comfort, even outside of their sports. So how do I inspire others? Well, first things first is you have to be a good role model. Okay? You have to practice what you preach. Okay? If nagagalit ka sa player mo dahil wala siyang disiplina, you have to be a role model of discipline as well. I think it's that simple. Hindi siya simple. Okay? Hindi siya simple. Nakakapagod din kayo kapag coach. It's also hard work, to be in training earlier than all of them. Okay? Then prepare everything na kailangan nila for training. So, how do I do it? Well, primarily model. I need to lead by example. Okay? I need to practice what I preach. Okay? Then secondly, siguro I need to also put myself in their shoes. Somehow I need to understand kung ano ba yung pinanggagalingan nila. And in that way, mas maintindihan ko sila, mas magkakasundo kami. And that can create the proper mindset. And eventually, maging innate na yun doon sa athlete ko. So yes, I hope I answered your question. Yeah. Thank you.
So, sir, next question po.
Yes.
As a player, need din po ba nila
Mm.
mag-aral ng sports psychology to manage themselves?
That's good. I like this. I like this question. Hindi naman sa kailangan mag-aral ng sports psychology to manage themselves. You know? Kasi paano kung wala ang subject ng sports psychology? Diba? Paano mo pag-aaralan yun? I think it just so happened that I was in a field. I was in a field na nag-offer sila ng sports psych. Hindi naman. I think what we need as athletes is support. What we need is support from my coaches. What we need is support from my teammates. What we need is support from family, from close friends. You know, you need to surround yourself with people close to you who will tell you what's right or what's wrong, who will be there to guide you. You know, kung ano ba yung mga kailangan mo. Okay. So yeah, well, it will help. But you need people around you, you know, so that you will be aware na meron ka palang problemang dinadala. And kailangan siyang solusyonan. Yun. I hope I answered it right. Pero
Thank you po. So, another question po, sir. Galing po kay Ika. At sa teammate naman po, paano nyo po cheer up yung teammates mo knowing na nahihirapan ka din?
Okay. Ito yan. High school pa lang ako, I was already conditioned na when you're not on the floor, when you're on the bench, you can still be of help to your teammates. Okay. So, you know, in training, lahat kami pinaghandaan yun. Mahirap yung task at hand. Now, kapag game time na and you're on the court, yung teammate mo nasa court din, halimbawa ako yung nasa bench, there is no other way to cheer up your teammates but to encourage them. There is no other way to encourage them. Make them feel, iparamdam mo sa kanila na, hey, let's go guys, let's play defense, come on, bawi tayo. Let's go, hey, come on, good pass, let's go, kaya natin yan. Okay, 7 na lang yung lamang nila. Konti na lang, we have 5 minutes left. You know, those simple words, those cheers na naririnig nila in the bench, makes them feel na, okay, hindi ko naman cargo lahat to. Hindi ko pasan lahat ng responsibilidad. There are teammates who believe in me. There are coaches who believe in me. Mahirap yung task, pero it is manageable. It is achievable. So yun, as early as high school, that's how I was trained. You know, to be that good person on the bench to cheer up your teammates. Yeah. If you're on the bench. Okay? Yun.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Last question po. When and why do athletes choke under pressure?
Okay. When and why do athletes choke under pressure? Okay. When then why? When it is there already. Kailan? Under pressure. Yun yung mga times na when they deem that situation na nag-expect na ng marami sa kanila, ine-expect na magde-deliver na sila on that particular situation, that is the when. Basta dun sa sitwasyon na yun. So in basketball, sabihin natin yun yung mga last 5 seconds, last 3 seconds, gano'n. Yun yung lahat ng tao sa Araneta Coliseum nakatayo na, nag-cheer na, let's go, shoot mo yan. O nandyan yung mga kalaban mo na, boo, sablay. You know, those moments, you know, wherein you carry that responsibility. Why do athletes choke under pressure? Well, one, they could have been distracted. Nagpa-apekto sila sa naririnig nila. sa naririnig nila. They lack focus. So, I'm gonna tell you a story. Hindi pa siya, I don't consider it, yung crucial moment. There is a time when I was playing in Araneta Coliseum. I was in high school, okay? I was shooting free throws, okay? Andito yung court sa harapan ko. Diyan ako shoot. Doon sa taas, sa likod, if you're familiar with Araneta, meron doon malaking screen. Okay? Nagde-dribble ako, nitignan ko kung saan ako shoot. My peripheral, nakikita ko yung sarili ko doon sa screen. So, doon pa lang sa moment na yun, nawala na ako ng focus. Okay? Nakita ko yung peripheral ko sa screen, na-conscious ako na, shit, okay, ganito pala itsura ko pag shoot ako ng free throw. Guess what happened? Airball on live TV. Okay? So, I choked. Yun talaga literal. That was a choke. Okay? I was 0 out of 6. 0 out of 6 from the free throw line that game. But we won. Pero that was like a lesson for me. Okay? It's about really training myself, to be, to select kung saan ba talaga dapat mag-focus lang. Why do athletes choke under pressure? Focus. It's mainly focus. Take it from me. That was my experience. It happened. Okay. I think meron pang isang question pa ba? I think meron na itong question, sorry. Or
Wala naman po, sir.
meron? Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
I think, okay, wait lang. Meron na, sorry. I think I received a message. Sorry. I received a message from Christine Jade Fuentes. Direct message pala na ipasa sa akin. Okay. Kaya pala hindi niyo nababasa. Okay, so let me just address this para ma-cover natin lahat. In this time of pandemic, as a coach, what possible solutions can you promote knowing na hindi open ang sports? Yung frustration ng athletes like us na kung kailan nasa peak po ng career na tigil and graduating na, hindi na enjoy yung remaining years. What can I advise? Okay. So, I'm guessing you're an athlete. Okay. First of all, this pandemic, no one expected this pandemic. No one is prepared for this pandemic. No one foresaw this pandemic na tagal ng ganito. So, what I can advise with you is just continue with your passion. I know you're playing, and if varsity ka, I know that you still have aspirations, to play semi-pro or to play pro. What I can advise you is graduate, get that degree. That is one. Get that degree. No one can take that away from you. Okay? That is the end goal, to graduate. Secondly, continue getting better. Continue training. Continue lifting weights. Do whatever it is that you can do, kung ano man ang pwede ngayong pandemic. Okay? Then, kung abutan ka pa rin man ng pandemic na hindi mo na nalaro yung last playing year mo, then it is acceptance. Then move on. Kasi alam, kung player ka, again, you have aspirations to move up to the semi-pros and pros, yun naman ang paghandaan mo. You are preparing not for your collegiate career, but you are preparing for the next stage. So, do not stop. Be resourceful. Make use of whatever it is that you have right now. And, be better. Mahirap, but it takes discipline. Yun lang. Yun lang. So yan. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir, for answering the questions of our participants. So it's like we've covered all of our questions. Sir Paolo, is there anything else you wanted to say or promote before we wrap up?
Okay. Sige. Promote na rin pala tayo eh. Okay. Okay, so, sige, parting message na lang muna. Parting message is, this pandemic is really a shithole. It is really a shithole. But, nandito na tayo, and mahirap man, pero we have to move forward. We have to move forward. We have to keep on going. Okay? And again, aim to be the best. Aim to be better aim to be better every day. Okay, aim to be better every day. Okay, so when it comes to promotions naman, sige, promote ko na rin. You can avail if you would like to be trained, strength and conditioning wise, if you are preparing for sports activities, or gusto mo lang maging healthy, you can send me a message. So in Instagram or on Facebook. Instagram is at PauRoms. So that's Pau, then PAO and ROMS in Instagram. Or you can hit me up on Facebook if you would like to avail my services for training. Okay. And also, I also have other businesses, on the side right now. So if you're into jewelry, I do manage a jewelry manufacturing store right now. So you can search us up at the Carats PH on Instagram. That is the Carats. So TheCarats So one word on Instagram. Everything there is handcrafted by us. So yun lang.
So thank you again, sir. Now let's proceed to the awarding of certificate to our resource speaker for today's event. May I ask Ms. Rica Faye Cianto to award the certificate of resources to our resource speaker.
Miss Rica, hindi po naririnig.
Rinig na ba ako?
Opo.
Ayan. Sorry. Okay. So, Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is proudly presented to Mr. Paolo Luis Romero for sharing his expertise as a guest speaker at the webinar Sports and Exercise Psychology, Kailangan na nga ba? Held on October 24, 2021 via Zoom meeting and Facebook Live. Ayan. So this was signed by Professor Benjamin E. Lee, MAIV, CSIOP, DOMC Psychology Society Advisor, Professor Francis Belshason, MA, CSIOP, DOMC Psychology Society Advisor, and Dr. Rhea Luella S. Pfizer, Registered Psychologist, Registered Psychometrician, CSIOP, Dean of College of Arts and Sciences, and Psychology Department Head. So thank you, sir, for granting our invite.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rica, and thank you again, sir. So before we end, let me call on Miss Zena to announce the evaluation form for you to have your free certificates.
So good afternoon, everyone. The links are now posted at the chat box, and kindly fill out the evaluation form for you to get your free e-certificates. And again, thank you for being with us throughout the whole webinar.
May we request our participants to please open your videos for photo opportunity and documentations.
Add ko lang din guys na magkuha kayo ng screenshot ng ng meeting natin ngayon para sa evaluation form. Ayan lang. Johnny, paki-stop sharing muna para makapag-photo op tayo. Kindly open all of your cameras po.
Yan.
Ayan. So for our first page po, 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait lang po. Second page po, pa-open lang din po ng camera. Pa-open po ng camera, guys. Mag-screenshot na rin kayo para sa evaluation form natin. Pa-open ng camera po. Wait lang. Ayan, mukhang wala na ata mag-o-open. Ayan. 1, 2, 3. Smile po. Smile. Ayan, okay na po. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. And now, may we call on our Vice President of the OMC Psychology Society to for our closing remarks.
Yan. So first of all, I would like to thank Sir Paolo for accepting our invite as a guest speaker. Thank you, sir. And syempre kay Sir Ranche na nag-recommend din po kay Sir Paolo. Syempre gusto rin namin pasalamatan yung mga viewers natin dito sa loob ng Zoom and sa FB Live. Ayan. Ang ganda ng talk ni Sir ngayon. Sana po marami kayong natutunan about sports and exercise and sports psychology. Mahalagang alam natin yung mga strategies para ma-overcome natin yung pressure before and habang nasa game. And syempre, tayo as non-athlete or kahit na nasa bahay lang tayo, dapat nag-engage tayo sa mga activities or sports para naman healthy tayo kahit nasa bahay lang. Ayan, so again, on behalf of the OMC Psychology Society, thank you for spending your time with us.
Thank you, our beautiful Miss Ayesa. And thank you, everyone. We appreciate your presence here in our webinar. Next month, catch our 5th episode of Psychcast on November 18 and our next webinar on November 25. Don't forget to please like our Facebook page, the OMC Psychology Society, for more psychology-related contents like webinars, podcasts, and more. I hope you enjoyed our session as much as we did, and we hope to see you again in our future activities. Once again, I'm Christian C. Teves.
And I am Keisha Baldovino.
And I am Ayesa Agustin. Thanks again for joining us for the whole Psych Week. We will see you again next time. And always remember, love yourself first and everything else falls into line. Have a great day, everyone. Bye!
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys.
You can now leave the Zoom meeting po.